We're going to talk a little bit. You know, we're celebrating Arbor Day. First of all, I'm Bonnie Kaplan. I'm on City Council, and I often do Arbor Day because I like this whole thing. It makes me happy to plant trees and to see beautiful things. So we're going to talk about Arbor Day. Do you know what Arbor Day is about?
Trees. Yeah, trees.
Why do we celebrate it?
Because they give us oxygen. Help us breathe. And light. They're pretty. They bring beauty to the world.
Oh, that was good. Oh, that was really good. Oh, and this is quite a beautiful tree. It's a lilac, not the usual kind of lilac. It's a tree and not a bush. And it will grow not really large, but it'll have wonderful white flowers on it. So Arbor Day, this is your anniversary. It's 70 years of Beaumont. Is that so?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it so?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Do you go here? Yes? Okay. Okay. And Arbor Day has been celebrated since 1872. And it started in Nebraska because Nebraska is a state of flat. They didn't have trees, they weren't filled with forests, they were filled with flat plains. And when a man named J. Sterling Morton came there, he was a journalist and ultimately became the editor of their newspaper. He missed the trees because what did you see this morning coming? Were they gorgeous, those trees? They were white and pink and beautiful and that new green, which is spectacular. And so he came and he missed the trees. And he missed the trees because this flat plain is good for raising corn and wheat and sunflowers, but they had no forests. And he came from Michigan. And Michigan's much like Ohio, where we had forests. So he and his friends decided to do something about that. And they began promoting trees. Because what do you need trees for besides beauty? And what else? Ah, well, yes, I guess, yes. And also they break the wind, and you use them for fuel and for building. If you consider, we're talking in the 1850s, what? That too? Well, it all depends on whether you're growing trees as a fast grow. You know about fast-growing forests so that you can harvest those trees so you grow it like a plant. But they grew the trees to break the wind, for heating, for building, for those kinds of things. And in 1872, this Mr. Morton, who was quite an energetic guy, decided that they should have a statewide Arbor Day. And their first year, guess how many trees the state planted?
500. 8,000? 1,000. 2,000. 5,000.
A million. A million trees the first time. So that was really pretty impressive. And it is a thing that Mr. Morton was most known for. He did end up being the Secretary of Agriculture for the president, who Grover Cleveland was the president at the time. But he was really known for starting Arbor Day. And every state celebrates Arbor Day, usually in April. It has to do with when is a good planting time for trees. And we do plant usually in April, often the last Friday of April, but we didn't do that this year. I was in a great place. I was in Israel on Friday, and it was really fantastic. And so the city decided to wait because I really like doing this, because I love the green of it, I love the healthy of it, and all the environmental things. So what are you studying in school about trees and about vegetation? You're on volcanoes. I see. Okay. Well, they don't do such good things for us, I don't think. They sort of do bad things for the air. But so trees work real hard to, I guess, overcome that. So we're doing Arbor Day, and we go to different schools. So every year we do it in a different place. And sometimes we go back and check to see how the schools took care of the trees. And often the trees were really well taken care of and have grown to be really quite wonderful. So this tree is going to be planted here so that it doesn't get in the way of your new construction, because you're adding on to the school. And every time you come past here, you're going to remember you were part of this. And I hope you'll remember it in a wonderful way, that you're part of something that people long ago thought about in a different way than we do now. Now we think about the air and the air quality and the environment in a different way than they did, of course, in 1850, 1870, 1880s, and the early 1900s, actually, for longer than that. But we've begun to think about how we have to be responsible for the air, the environment, and that we really need to be the caretakers of our environment. So thank you for participating. You're all going to help throwing this dirt in here. And so we're happy to be here, and thank you very much. So we're going to take turns. You guys who have the shovels, you want to start?